So, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, in the name of God, most gracious, most merciful. Today I want to talk about the word Dajjal, okay? And I want to talk about it from the perspective of the world we are living in today. And I'm only going to take a few of the meanings. We will look at the English dictionary, but we'll also look at the Arabic dictionary if I feel like we have time, because I want to keep everything within a certain time. You know, it really is a blessing of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to have this knowledge, because there is a tradition of the Prophet ﷺ, recorded by Nu'aym bin Hammad, in which he said, the Prophet said ﷺ, Nu'aym bin Hammad is the teacher of Imam Bukhari, who wrote a book called Kitab al-Fitan, the book of tribulations and trials. And the Prophet has said, only the one who knows about the fitan, only those who have educated themselves in the field of fitan, what will happen in the times of tribulations, only those people who have educated themselves in this field will be able to save themselves. And this obviously makes logical sense. Now, for any student of knowledge, particularly in the field of fitan and in the field of Dajjal and this fitna of Dajjal, one would have to know the basic meaning of the word Dajjal. What does it mean? Because wallahi, we live in a world where we are under so many layers of deception, so many layers of Dajjal, right? That, and I'm going to take one of the meanings that I'll show you that are much more emphasized in the Arabic dictionary than this English one. This is the English lanes, and this is just to give you a basic understanding of the meaning, okay? So I'm just going to go over this very quickly. Its primary application signifies a person or a thing that covers anything in any manner, right? So 9/11 happens, what appears to be so and what is the reality of what is happening are two different things. And this is where we are at all levels of our society today. You know, religion on the outside appears to be something else. In reality, it's being used for some other, like for example, the Zionist movement, right? 9/11 is another example. Relationships, right? We call our relationships are, you know, he's my friend on Facebook. Okay, that's relationship, right? So everything has been tarred, everything has been covered, and so one of the meanings of the Dajjal is to have a gold plate of something. On the inside there's nothing, but on the outside there's this gold wash. Okay, is just a gold wash on the outside. In reality, it doesn't have any substance. On the outside, it seems like glitter. The entertainment is just artificial happiness. There's a book I read called Artificial Happiness. You should just learn about this, right? That Dajjal would be like an environment or a system that on the outside looks like it's so entertaining, but in the inside you find out that it's actually quite the opposite. It's artificial happiness, right? So a person or a thing that conceals anything in any manner, okay? A liar, I'm over here now, okay? A falsifier, the one who deceives, deludes, and beguiles, circumvents, okay? Very deceitful, okay? It's also used especially in the economic sense, okay? Then a great company of men journeying together, covering the ground by their multitude, or a company of men journeying together, carrying goods for traffic. Okay, so how does this relate to the idea of Dajjal and deception and so on and so forth? I'm not going to go into that right now. Okay, but gold wash. Okay, the other example was tar. Tar is something that you cover yourself, like they used to cover the camel with tar, with this black tar, as to kind of like make itself, it doesn't look like a camel anymore. It just has this tar on it. And tar is very bad for you. And so you cover yourself with this thing in order to not be who you are, right? And of course, the Antichrist, right, is one of the meanings. As the tar covers the body, okay, or because of his lying, or his arrogating to himself godship. Now, Dajjal will be this person who is going to start by saying, I'm Masih, I'm Jesus, I'm Jesus, I'm Jesus, and then will finally go to a point where he'll say, I'm God. So there are three types of Dajjal that I have mentioned before. One type of Dajjal is the fitna of Dajjal, which is the fitan of Dajjal, the deception, the society. Fitna is always society. The deception you have within that society. People tell you this paper money is money, but it's not money. People tell you this is education, but it has nothing to do with education. You're going to school for 12 years, 10 years, you don't get real education. It's just fake education. You listen to news, it's fake news. Something else on the outside, something else on the inside. Looks like something glitter, something goldish, something beautiful on the outside. It's not. They make you think like being friends on Facebook, that's a relationship. It's not, right? Something else. And so the fitna of Dajjal is that society that has the masters of that society have learned how to deceive people. And they can do a project like 9/11. They can do a project like even 9/11's nothing, right? I mean, like a bigger project than 9/11, where a false messiah comes and people will believe. Because on the outside, it's one thing. On the inside, it's something else. And so, Dajjal means he covered. Because he will cover mankind with his infidelity. Okay, so this is where I am from Dajjal. He covered. Because he will cover mankind from his real self, of what he's really up to. Because he will cover the earth with multitude. Okay, so okay, so these are the different meanings. Okay, it also means the act of mixing. Okay, to transfer, he transfers the bucket from his mouth of the well to the water throat. So it means to mix things up, to confuse things. Okay. And so these are all different meanings of the word Dajjal. Now, having said that, I don't want to go through it in its entirety. Dung, okay, dung. Dajjal also means dung, right? And anyway, I'll just end there as far as meanings are concerned. But what are the different layers of? And I want you to think about this in the comment section. In the comment section, give me examples of where things in the world appear to be one thing, right? For example, money. Money appears, paper money looks like money. On the appearance, it's money, but in reality, it's not money, right? It has nothing to do with being real money. And because real money has value, inherently has value like gold or silver. Paper money is nothing more than paper. And so it is very important to, so give me examples. Think of all the ways that in this society, everything from, you see entertainment, but in reality, it is artificial happiness. You see relationships, but they're not really true relationships, right? At so many, in politics, things appear to be one thing on the outside, but when you look at the reality on the inside, it's completely different, right? Events like 9/11, like manufactured events, and so many manufactured events that are going to come, right? That they will be all Dajjal, and Dajjal will be a master of how to manipulate people, how to manipulate events, how to make something look like on the outside it's one thing, but it's inside something else. Give me examples of that in our society. So I just was typing in different things, and I'll go over what I was typing, right? Fake news. Okay, so we got fake news. We got fake money. Okay, fake governments. All these governments, they're actually enslaved to the multinational corporations controlled by a few elite 3,000 or so families in the world. Fake religions. We're no longer following those true scriptures, the true religions, whether it be in Christianity, and to a great degree even in the Muslim world. We've lost the essence in many ways, right? Fake games, fake entertainment, artificial happiness, right? Fake entertainment, I wrote that already. Fake advertisements, right? Every advertisement is just a lie. Where does it, fake love, okay? Fake genders, right? Deceit in the world, okay? Deceit in business, fake relationships, fake borders, all these nationalistic borders we've created, right? Fake families, fake laws. Now, this is very important. Fake laws are very important because we live in a world where we think the laws of man are... I'm doing a recording, inshallah. So, The fake laws are replacing the laws of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Right? The laws of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, they're the real laws. And they're the only true laws. But man makes laws like his idols. It makes them into his idols and then breaks those laws like breaking idols. And so we live in a world where there is this deceit that we got these fake laws running the world. You have fake healing. Doctors really are limited in what they can do, but we try to make science and technology, the promises of science and technology. If you read the original writings of the Royal Society, Science Society in England, they were promising what? They were promising we'll use science to remove starvation, but what ended up happening? They had these demonic minds that made nuclear weapons instead. So alienation is another good word that essentially means Dajjal. Right, to be disconnected because you don't real relationships are not there. Even in the sense of capitalism. And so here it is. What are the different levels in which we are being deceived? What are the different levels in which we are something else? What appears to us is not the reality. And if you don't keep this in mind about society that we live in, right? Fake love is the Cinderella, kind of complex. That is defined as love right now, instead of real love, which is a whole different topic, right? That love at first sight kind of love. This is real love, right? People no longer even know what their true emotions are. What something as simple as love is, for example. And so I want to leave you with this. I want you to give me examples in the comment section of what are the different levels of deceit, lie, where appearances and realities diverge, where you could clearly see in the events of the world, in the system of these governments that we have, in the system that we're living in. We're talking about peace, 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 but with every word of peace, in reality behind it is war. Right? Like the Quran says, وَإِذَا قِيلَ لَهُمْ لَا تُفْسِدُوا فِي الْأَرْضِ. Then when it is said to them, don't cause corruption in the world, قَالُوا, they say what? إِنَّمَا نَحْنُ مُصْلِحُونَ. We're just peacemakers. We're just peacemakers. And these peacemakers, what they are on the outside, right? And what they are on the inside. On the outside you got your suit and your ties, and in the inside you're just a monster. You're a vampire. You're a Satan worshiper. And so, who controls the society? The society, the governments do, or secret societies do. Give me examples of where on the outside it appears something, and on the inside it's something else. So let's create a list that can do that. That would be really, really great. Inshallah. Jazakumullah khairan. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Jazakumullah khairan.